Good morning. My name is Lisa Raju Kessler. Thank you for joining me this morning on this. This morning I'd like to just talk briefly about acceptance, and then we'll meditate together. So this morning I was reading a bit written by a fairly known American meditation teacher. Her name is Sharon Salzburg. She's written quite a few books. She was one of the founders of the Insight Meditation Center, and I think she's practiced since the early 70s. So she writes a little bit about acceptance. And sometimes when we talk about acceptance or letting go, it doesn't feel quite right to us. We kind of equate that sometimes with giving up or being passive about the situation. But Sharon tells us something a little bit different. So here's what she has to say. Acceptance doesn't mean succumbing to what's going on. When we succumb to a situation, we collapse into it or become immersed in it or possessed by it. While trying to cross the flood, instead of moving, we linger and we drown. We get possessed by the waves of the flood. We are overcome by them. Yet acceptance clearly doesn't mean we struggle against the waves. Trying to push against the waves or push them out of the way exhausts us and is futile. We have to use the momentum of each wave on the crossing to help us go along. But it takes a special kind of strength to be able to be this delicate and to be able to be in the middle of the flood, not sinking and not thrashing around. So, to me, sinking into the flood and drowning would be giving up. But then thrashing about sometimes exhausts us, and if we do that, we could end up drowning anyway. So she goes on to say, the crossing of the flood is only accomplished one moment at a time. The art of this accomplishment is the ability to continually begin again. This is the other side of letting go, the doorway letting go reveals. We set forth, we struggle or get muddled or anxious, we lose our balance, and then realizing it, we begin again. We don't need self-recrimination or blame or anger. We need a reawakening of intention and a willingness to recommit, to be wholehearted once again. So I really liked that particular quote from her as a way to describe what acceptance is. Sometimes we have to go with the flow a bit in order to accomplish what we want to accomplish. And then again, sometimes we just need to realize that we need to stop, be present in the moment, and then really think about what is our best strategy at this point. So with meditation, we get carried away with these thoughts and feelings that arise. And as she says in another item that I have read of hers, that really the practice of meditation is that starting again. It's not looking back and judging ourselves because we got into this rabbit hole of thoughts, or that we think we're not good at meditation, but just that we realize in the moment where we are, and we just start again. And we continue that practice on and on as our mind continues to become more and more calm, and our body becomes calm, and our emotions begin to settle down. So keeping that in mind, let's just start our meditation. Helps to get in a comfortable seated position We would like for our minds to stay alert where our body is relaxed. Of course, sometimes we get sleepy and, well, that just kind of happens. So we sit up with our shoulders back, if that's comfortable. Our ears are above our shoulders, not sticking our head out in front of us as we might do as we're reading on the computer. And then just feeling relaxed. You may sit in a chair, that may be more relaxing for you. You may sit on a cushion, having support for the various parts of your body that need support to be comfortable and to be able to maintain your position throughout your meditation. We just start to breathe, allowing the breath in, and as Sharon says in one of her writings, we're just allowing the breath in. We're noticing the breath. It's there all the time anyway. We just don't always pay attention to it. So as we sit, we just notice what that breath feels like as it fills up our body. Perhaps for a moment even considering how the oxygen allows us to continue to live. How this is available to us in every moment of our life. As we just sit and breathe, being relaxed, having a strong back, a soft front, and an open heart. And throughout our meditation, we just stay with our body, noticing how the body feels in space, noticing what it takes to maintain our living body. And also knowing that we are not just our body. Our body is a vehicle for us. We can consider ourselves very fortunate to have this human body. The good deeds that we're able to do as we occupy this human body. And also know that our connection to everything around us goes much deeper than that. Whether we want to call it a soul, a consciousness, it really doesn't matter. But knowing how we connect with every other being. Knowing as we breathe, every being, every living being, breathes along with us, in and out. Such a simple task giving us life. And as we continue to sit, we just notice how we started to kind of wander away, or perhaps we're struggling, trying to stay focused, but at the same time, perhaps judging ourselves. There is no right or wrong. There is no judgment. Just simply notice and return to the breath. We sit in stillness. As we still our mind, we also still our body. Keeping the body still and calm often helps us in calming the mind. However, occasionally we may notice an ache or pain, some sort of discomfort. And if that happens, we can notice it, perhaps sit with it for a few seconds if it's not too severe, and then perhaps consider how you can make a slight adjustment to your body and make that adjustment part of your meditation as you find a slightly more comfortable way to maintain this stillness. And so as we consider letting go, what are we letting go of? We're letting go of delusion. Delusion that is created by emotions, by thinking that's perhaps not very helpful. Delusions that keep us from seeing reality as it actually is. And then by accepting the reality of the situation, we can consider clearly how to take action. So acceptance is not about not taking action, but rather taking action with a clear mind. And so I'd like to dedicate our time together to that letting go of delusion and accepting things as they are so that we can then move forward. Well, thank you for joining me today. Just a couple of announcements. The first one is that if some of y'all have been watching or participating in the Saturday morning meditation regularly, I just want to say thank you. And I'm going to be leaving Arkansas for a while. I'm calling it my big adventure. I'm hoping, though, since we do this by Facebook, I'll be able to continue to lead some of these Facebook meditations on Saturday mornings. Probably not next Saturday. There may be someone sitting in for me. Or if you ever tune in and you find that, well, we didn't have a substitute to come in, then remember you can always just check back at some of the previous Facebook Live meditations. I know it's kind of fun, or at least I enjoy knowing that I'm there live with the other person. And I also enjoy going back and participating in some of the ones that have occurred in the past. So just keep that in mind. And I'd also like to mention that we did have our medicine Buddha blessing of our new building last week with Anna Cox leading us. It was a beautiful ceremony, and it was on Zoom. And I believe we still have that posted, possibly on Facebook and also on our website. So if you hadn't had a chance to check that out, you should still be able to access that. And of course, we also have many practices throughout the week. You can check those out on Zoom, as well as our Facebook Live meditations that we have. So until next time, I just want to thank you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day.